The sound of soft, childish laughter echoed through the marble lobby of Meriton Financial Tower. It didn't belong there, not among polished shoes, ringing phones, and the cold chatter of executives. "Mommy, look. It's shiny." A little boy, barely 5 years old, pointed at a golden elevator button with wonder in his eyes. His mother, Clara Hensley, knelt beside him, her hair tied in a neat bun, her old blazer slightly frayed at the cuffs. "Eli, sweetheart, you have to stay quiet, okay? Mommy's almost done with her shift." Eli nodded, holding her hand tight. He was wearing a small blue hoodie, his backpack worn from too many days at daycare, the daycare she could no longer afford. Clara worked as a junior accountant, barely keeping up with rent since her husband's accident. But today, her babysitter had cancelled, and she had no one else. She had brought Eli to work just for a few hours, praying no one would notice. But someone did. A voice like cold steel sliced through the quiet. "Mrs. Hensley." Clara froze. Standing behind her was Marjorie Hale, the department head, a woman who never smiled unless it was for a promotion photo. Clara turned, her heart sinking. "Ms. Hale, I." Marjorie raised a manicured hand. "This is unacceptable. You brought a child into a financial office? This is a workplace, not a daycare." Clara tried to explain, her voice trembling. "I didn't have anyone else. He's a good boy, he won't cause trouble, I promise." "I don't care," Marjorie snapped. "Pack your things. You're done here." The room went silent. Even the computers seemed to stop humming. Clara felt her knees weaken. Eli looked up, confused. "Mommy, are we going home?" Her throat tightened. "Yes, baby. We're going home." Outside, snow began to fall, thick white flakes landing on her hair as she walked through the crowded streets, clutching Eli's hand. He looked up at her with innocent eyes. "Did I do something bad, Mommy?" She forced a smile through tears. "No. Sweetheart. You did everything right." But inside, her heart was breaking. She had no job, no savings, and a child depending on her. For days, Clara searched, applying everywhere, from accounting firms to grocery stores. No one wanted a single mother who'd just been fired. One night, after putting Eli to bed, she sat at the kitchen table with her last cup of coffee and a stack of unpaid bills. She whispered, "I can't lose him too. I'll do anything." The next morning, she found a flyer slipped under her apartment door. "Now hiring, financial assistant, Hartwell Group." She almost didn't apply, until she saw the address. It was on the same street where she'd just been fired. "Maybe fate's giving me one more chance," she murmured. She dressed in her best, the same blazer, pressed carefully. She took Eli to a neighbor who agreed to watch him for a few hours, then hurried across town in the snow. Inside Hartwell Group, everything felt different. The reception area was warm, filled with laughter. Even the coffee smelled kind. She sat nervously as a man in his mid-30s walked in, tall, confident, but with kind eyes. He wore a navy suit, no tie, and smiled easily. "Hi," he said, extending his hand. "I'm Ethan Ward, CFO here. You must be Clara." She nodded, her hands cold. "Yes, sir. Thank you for seeing me." He glanced at her resume, then looked up. "Meriton Financial, huh? Why'd you leave?" She hesitated, lowering her gaze. "I didn't leave. I was let go. I brought my son to work one day because I had no sitter. I didn't mean to break any rules." Ethan didn't reply right away. Instead, he studied her face, not with judgment, but with something softer. Finally, he said, "Let me tell you something, Clara. When I was 6, my mom used to take me to the diner where she worked nights. She'd set me in the corner with coloring books while she served tables." Clara blinked, unsure where he was going. He smiled. "If her boss hadn't let her bring me, IW." Clara started work the following Monday, nervous but grateful beyond words. Ethan kept his promise. He gave her a fair chance, training her personally. Unlike her old office, Hartwell Group wasn't cold or cruel. The people smiled, they joked, they shared lunch breaks. And Ethan, he noticed the small things. The way she stayed late to double-check numbers. The way she quietly fixed other people's mistakes. One day, as she was filing reports, He stopped by her desk. You know, you've done more in a week than some do in months, he said. She smiled faintly. Just trying to do my best. He nodded.
You remind me of my mom.
She used to say, hard work doesn't get noticed by everyone, but it changes everything. Clara smiled, the first genuine one in weeks. Days turned into weeks, and little by little, she began to feel hope again. Ethan noticed she often skipped lunch, saving every penny. One evening, after everyone had left, he walked past her desk and saw a small envelope, addressed to her landlord. Inside was cash, barely enough for rent. He also saw something else, a crayon drawing tucked under her keyboard.
A childish drawing of a woman holding on with a boy, both smiling under a yellow sun.
In the corner, written in shaky letters.
Me and mommy, happy again.
Ethan swallowed hard. That night, he called an HR meeting. The next morning, Clara received an envelope from the company. Inside was a bonus check, triple her salary. She ran to Ethan's office, tears in her eyes. Sir, there's a mistake. He shook his head gently.
No mistake.
It's recognition. You've helped this company more than you realize. Her voice broke. I don't know how to thank you.